Hi everyone, and thanks for having me here. So it is interesting to hear everyone's different paths because mine is very different. But similar to Katrina, I'm first generation student. It was a big deal to graduate high school, let alone go into university. But and in fact, I didn't. I went straight into industry, into the construction industry, and figured that that's where I was going to be. But it exposed me to engineers, quite a few engineers on site, and then into the offices, and I kept trying to help out. And they were the ones that really encouraged me to go to university and pursue an engineering degree. So I did my civil engineering undergraduate degree at UBC. And in my second year undergraduate, I got an opportunity to do a undergraduate research scholarship with NSERC and worked with a engineering professor, structural engineering professor there. And that's my first exposure to research. And I absolutely loved it. I kept working with the same professor throughout my undergrad, immediately started a master's, transferred to a PhD, so I don't have a master's, and just finished my PhD now and entering a faculty position. So I actually skipped over the postdoc, but and I had, about three interviews, and I got this opportunity at UBC Okanagan, which was actually, out of all the universities, this was my school of choice. Coming from a small town with lots of outdoor activities and that kind of exposure, and combining that with like an international university just is the dream. So I'm very excited, and I'm actually just starting out. I will start July 1st. I haven't started yet. So if you would like advice on, the interview process and that transition, it's pretty fresh in my head right now. So why pursue an academic career in engineering or science? I think one of the things that struck me later on, and I didn't quite realize this until I was already in my PhD, is how much of an impact academics have, just on policy, on the way we do things. Like I'm a structural engineer that researches how to make buildings more resilient in earthquakes. So currently we design buildings such that under an earthquake, they get heavily damaged. That protects the life inside, but it destroys the building. And so, in Christchurch 2011 earthquake, they have the same kind of design procedure in New Zealand. They demolished 80% of their city afterwards. So there's now research saying, hey, we can do better. We can actually make buildings not only keep standing, but also still be operable after an earthquake. So we're doing research on that. But not only am I doing research, so we can do that, actually making people adopt this new technology or adopt these practices is where changing in policy comes in. And academics are on the forefront of changing that policy. If you start looking into the various committees on the building code, on every aspect of the building code, you'll see it filled with professors. And so they focus their research, and our research changes into policy. Our policies change the world. So you have such a massive impact and such a massive reach, as well as you can really choose your direction, and you can sort of be the captain of your own ship as a professor, which is also really intriguing. Like when you go work for a company, it's all about the bottom line, what's making us money. For here, it's like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to see change? And you can make that choice. And that's so very powerful. So for sure, getting a research faculty position is amazing for me. And again, it's kind of new, so I'm not going to be able to tell you all about the job because I haven't experienced it yet. And then the other thing I heard throughout was doing international work. So I didn't do the postdoc, and I'm UBC all the way through. I went UBC undergrad, UBC PhD, now in Vancouver, now UBCO faculty. But I did take opportunities for international research, and that's what I wanted to say too is, things like MyTech's Global Link or collaborative projects or even international conferences. If you don't have the opportunity to go to a different school, then take those opportunities to at least work on international collaborations, because you get some of those same things that I'm hearing. Like I got to work in a lab in China in 2020, which was not a great time to work in a lab in China. But, having that kind of exposure to different universities, different ways of doing things was super powerful. So anyway, yeah, I can give you lots of advice if you're just starting to apply to a job, as I said, because I just did it, but or engineering or anything. All right, I'm done.